Hey, how's it going? I am the Sanguiem, and today we're going to be doing something else. We are going to be participating in a game jam. Specifically, Brackey's 2022.1 game jam. Now, and for those of you who don't know what a game jam is, I will just, give you the clip notes. A game jam is basically, you just make a game within a very constricted time frame based on a theme of some sort. And a whole bunch of people do this all at the same time and submit it. And, sometimes there's a rewards for best game, sometimes there's no reward. I mean, it really doesn't matter. The point of it is just to have fun and try to use that really small time frame and theme to make something creative that fits it. That's pretty much the whole gist of it. And it's been quite a while, actually, since I myself have participated in a game jam. It's actually been a year. I participated in the same one. I participated in the 2021.1 game jam, but I did not submit anything because I did not complete the game, and I was unbelievably humbled by how much I bit off more than I could chew. I think the theme was together, and I tried to make a game where you controlled two characters, and I couldn't even get to the control scheme part. Like, I tried to make a 3D game, and my ultimate downfall was being unable to use Blender sufficiently. Like, I've never modeled a character before, and I don't have the money to unleash on assets, so I ultimately was doomed to fail before I even begun. But this year, I'm gonna try a different approach. I'm gonna go a 2D approach instead of 3D, so that way if I need something, I can just draw it. Like, I don't need to model it, I can draw it. I'm a great drawer. So here's what we're gonna do. We are gonna come up with ideas. Today's the idea day. Today marks the 21st of February. It is Monday. It is the second day in the week. And the way this game jam works is it's the entire week, from Sunday to Saturday. The theme for this game jam is It's Not Real. That is the game jam's theme. And honestly, I'm not 100% sure where to go with this one. There's a number of approaches we could do. Like what is not real? Like, that's what I want to know. What is not real? I need to figure out what's not real that's in a scenario, and then we can make a game around the scenario. At least that's kind of the way I want to approach it. And one idea I have is, what if we just have an environment that you're in, that you just play in, and you just run around, do stuff, and the more you do stuff, the less great everything is, and then before you know it, we have a depressing scene before us. It's just terrible. Terrible, terrible. This is the reality of the situation. The end. A happy ending, I know. But I don't know what kind of environment it would be. I'm leaning towards a household environment. Like, maybe you have a loving family and you're running around a house making sure everything's fine, doing some spring cleaning. And as you explore and fix up the house, you'll notice a thing or two, like maybe a person will say something weird, or it's just something off happens. So, something off that shows cracks in your fabrication of a reality. It's not an original concept, not by far, but we're not doing this for originality. No. We're doing this to have fun. This is to have fun. It's not like we're gonna monetize this. This is gonna be a free game on itch.io. I would still like to put my own spin on it somehow. And another option or route we can go down is an object isn't real. Like, maybe we're pursuing an object or person. We could do a near-death experience. Yeah, we could. I guess that's another option. You know what? I should be writing these down. Here. Let's type down some ideas here. We could do something like an online type of thing that involving computers. Like, maybe it's just a point and click story involving like a website. And maybe you're chatting with somebody and that somebody isn't real. Because that happens a lot. Like, you'll have it where you think you're talking to someone your age and it's actually someone like way younger or way older. It's just not who they say they are. So the image of the person you think you're talking to is not real. but it's actually someone else. Or it could just be like a bot, like, I don't know. I had a really strange experience where I actually got a text message from a bot, and I wasn't sure if it was a bot or just someone with the wrong number. And after replying to it once and then seeing its response, I'm like, this thing's a bot, I'm blocking it from my phone. Like, it is possible. It even sent me a picture of herself saying, oh no, it's just, you know, no, this is me. And I'm thinking, no, this is weird. This is off. And we're not going to do this. You could make a really interesting horror game around that. And in most of these scenarios, I come up with horror game ideas. It's not real. It makes me think of a very realistic type of horror game where the horror is reality. So, like, how do I make that fun? How do I make depressing moments fun is what I'm trying to get at. So, I might be overthinking it, but, I mean, that's what I do best. I mean, hell, you know what? Here's an idea. It's not real. The game. Identifying what's real. How about I'm not real? I just had a random thought. What if the sun wasn't real? What if the sun exploded? Alright. Hear me out on this. The sun. It takes light from the sun to reach Earth a very long time. Well, not very long. I think it takes like... Is it like 8 minutes or something? I can't remember. The sun is 93 million miles away, so sunlight takes 8 and a third minutes to get to us. I wasn't that far off. So what if you had a game where you had to run around and do stuff, and it was the last 8 minutes of your life? And this entire time, you always had a shot of the sun in the background, reminding you that, hey, there's the sun, but guess what? It's not real. Because it's gone. Would that count as near-death experience? No, because you're not near death, you are death. You are dying. If I follow through with the sun explodes idea, I am going to make it as dumb as possible. I want this to be a hilarious game. Based off of the simple fact that everything is stupid, people are acting dumb, and just dumb comedy. You know, I just remembered something. Any of you heard of the SCP Foundation? I wonder if I could make a game around a specific SCP. I can't remember the number, but I think the name of it is When It Rains. What if... No, hold on. I think that falls under interact with fake online account. What if it was like a relationship, and you thought you had you're talking with somebody and meeting them after work and all that, and interacting with them, and you think that you're gaining like a connection, but by the end of the game you realize there never was a connection, and you were secretly being used for something nefarious, like, I don't know, drug trafficking. But that's also so depressing. Why are all of my ideas depressing? Identifying what's real sounds really fun to me because it's up to the player to determine what's real and what's not real. I think that would just be fun. It would add to some of the player interaction, because if you play a game with under the theme "It's Not Real," where you are like the location is a dream or not really, you start out in a forest or you start out in a very loving household, you can already guess where it's going. Because the theme is, it's not real. So you can take a look at this household and go, that's not real, is it? Identifying what's real, there is mystery, because you're being presented with things that are not only not real, but have the potential to actually be real. You know what? Yeah, we're going with identifying what's real. That's going to be the approach I take. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we do a forest type of situation where... So basically, it's going to be like a dialogue tree situation where, you know, you choose the directions you're going and all that. And at each fork, you'll come up with a path. And you'll be given information about what lies down upon those paths, because you will see something at that path. Let's say we have a snake. There's a snake on the right side of the path. And then there was a suspicious-looking boulder that looks a lot like a slime, actually, now that I'm looking at it. And this was your option. You had a giant boulder in the middle of the forest path, or you had a snake. Which one do you choose? Now, this snake, here, let me put it into perspective. This is the snake. That's you. That's you and your small brain. This snake is twice the size of you. As such, this boulder is also twice the size of you. But then you have a snake that doesn't seem to do anything, and surprise, surprise, it's a cardboard cutout, alright? This snake is a cardboard cutout. So you can just walk right past it and be fine. So that was not real. The snake is not real, but the rock, what if the rock was not shaking, but you looked away, and then you looked back, and you saw a head over it, and then that just quickly ducked away. Like you could clearly see that while there is a rock there, there's something behind it. I just saw something. What's at the end of the forest? Is it just gonna be a big, stupid sign, like neon sign that says you did it? It's just a stupid, poorly drawn sign that says you did it. It's just in the middle of the forest, and then on the back of the sign it says, now find your way back. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to think about this. I'm gonna come up with ideas that I can write down instead of having to use my mouse to draw it all up. And I'm gonna come back and share it with you guys. And we'll see where that takes us, alright? So, be right back. See this? No, we're not doing that anymore. We're doing, the pursuit of a false object. Because while I do think this would be a nice idea, I don't think I would have the ability to come up with enough, like, scenarios for this. But I have another idea. Pursuit of a false object. What if you are searching for this object? Like maybe you're a treasure hunter of some sort, and you are trying to pursue this object through, like, different environments. Like, maybe it's all just in one environment. Maybe it's a forest, and on the way there you are coming up across multiple, like, characters, and hell, maybe we can even have, like, an animal or two that you talk to. Like, it doesn't have to be strictly based on, like, on non-fiction. We can have some mysterious other characters there, like a deer or an owl or something. And what you have to do is when you come across them, they're going to have something going on that you need to help them out with. Just something simple. Like maybe you come across an old lady in a cabin in the woods, and that old lady needs to wheelbarrow in some firewood over to her house for the winter. Well, you just do that. It's a really simple task that the character you're helping can't do on their own. And then when you do that, they will offer you help on your journey. And before you leave, though, they remind you that this thing that you're chasing is not real. That they have lived in this forest for a long time, and they know that there's no such thing. But your determination carries you, and you get all the way to the end, and there's nothing there. What do you know? It wasn't real. But had you not gone on that adventure, all of these animals and people that you helped along the way would not have gotten help at all. So the journey was not pointless. Like, it's a very cliche and like type of story where it's like, oh, the real treasure are the friends you made along the way. I don't know. I kind of just want to go with that. So that's what I'm thinking. So I think we're locked into this. Like, this can just go away. And let's think about how this is gonna work. So I'm thinking maybe we have some sort of forest. You progress a little further and there's a rolling rapids. Let's say, hey, here's an idea. What if you need the help of a bear? Because this river, like, you can't get across it, but what if you had a bear that could help you across? What the fuck can a bear not do? Now that I think about it, a bear can do anything. Bears are very powerful creatures. What could a bear not do and need a human's help for anyway? What if it's injured and you need to patch up the bear? Like, you don't have to collect anything, you just, patch up the bear. The bear is bleeding now. Okay. Alright, the bear is now bleeding. And you have to patch up the bear, and it will help you across. Before then telling you, once again, the thing that the object you seek is not real. And then we come over here. Now, what do we have going on over here? Do we have more forest, or... We could get really mysterious now. What if we went with a mysterious approach? The trees are more sparse here, but they start looking really strange. And we have these strange obelisks, like, I don't know, like this or something. Just some strange symbols at the top. They can either not mean anything or mean something, I don't know, I'll have to think about it. Maybe I can make them significant based on the story. Maybe a couple of these are broken off and the symbols up here, instead of being white, they're like grayed out a bit. Like this. There we go. Like the ones that are broken are a little bit more grayed out where the symbols are. And what do you say we have a bit of a... we have a warren. There we go. We'll have a rabbit be the next encounter. There we go, we got a little rabbit. I don't know, I mean, can't the rabbit just dig another hole? Let's scrap the rabbit idea. I still like the idea of one of these pillars being in the way of something. There we go, we have a botanist here. And, yeah, this thing just landed on his one of his herb patches that grows a very specific type of herb. And, he needs it to save someone's life. Well, you go ahead and move that off of there. He gets the herbs, and then in return... there we go, Crazy Gorge. Like a little gondola that can go back and forth across the gorge. And he will let you use it if all you do is just simply remove this pillar from here. So you have to do that. And you are strong. You're a strong character. I think you should be able to do that. I just made some more strange trees, but I'm not sure how I feel about them. I think this one is really surreal looking. The idea of just the same pattern on a tree that just goes up and up and up and up and up and up. So now you're across, and on the other side there's a giant mountain. This is where the fabled treasure is. But there's nothing there, it's just this obelisk. And it turns out that the legend is that this is the legend. It's just this obelisk. The thing that was supposedly supposed to be at the bottom of it is not real. It's nothing. Like, there's nothing here. It's just this. But wait a minute. Now that I think about it, putting something special here means that something real was here. Man, that's a conundrum, actually. Yeah, we can't put anything like crazy here because what he was expecting might not be real, but that doesn't mean that something isn't there. There are no flowers here at all. I've removed the flowers. What if it's just a pond of ice with this obelisk sticking out? And then maybe we have a couple other ones. That's it. What if there was rumor that there was some sort of ancient object here that did something? Because I think all these obelisks have established that there's something weird going on in this world. What if we had like an artifact here that has the ability to do something special, like bringing back the dead? And you know, oddly enough, that just so happens to coincide with some of the themes here. I mean, in each situation, the reason you're helping them is so that they don't die. The granny needs wood for the winter. The grizzly bear is in the process of dying, and you have to stitch up its wounds. And the botanist needs these plants to save someone else's life. Like, all along the way, you are helping prevent death, whilst also climbing up here to grab an artifact that brings something back to life. Like, there is one more problem. We gotta figure out how to get up this here mountain. What's gonna carry our protagonist up the mountain? What if it was a goat? What if it was a big, old goat? There we go, big old goat. Now, I want to preface just how big this goat will look. Take a look at this goat versus this grizzly bear. Bear, goat. Bear, goat. This goat is like over twice the size of this bear. But what are we gonna do for the goat? Maybe the goat might want something much simpler, like company. Maybe he's the last of his kind and he just wants to chat. So what do you think? You know what? What do you think? I think this is going to be kind of what the game is. You start here, go through the woods, you encounter the granny, you help the granny, tells you that what I'm searching for is not real. Go to the grizzly, grizzly then takes you across and tells you that what you're searching for is not real. Go over to the botanist and lets you use his gondola. He tells you what you're searching for is not real. You hop on the goat, then you get up here, and there's nothing here. It's just a bunch of these statues. So there we go. It's definitely not original in terms of story structure, but I like it. We should just jump right into Unity and start working on it.